Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very happy day for me. This happiness would not be possible without the work of a great number of people, and I'd like to begin today by acknowledging them. For making this publication project possible, I'd like to thank the National Arts Council, Lee Foundation, and the generous donations of our Checkpoint champions, many of whom I'm happy to see here today. Thank you to my editor, Kathy Rowland. When I was thinking of who could possibly edit this book, Kathy immediately sprang to the top of a very short list indeed. She's known my work from the beginning, from her days in KL, and now as a Singapore PR, she has a deep and broad understanding of the theatre of these two countries. My deepest thanks to her for the enormous amount of work she put into this volume. Months of going through our archives, both my personal and Checkpoint theatres, watching all the videos of past productions of my plays, tracking down and reading every single review, preview, critical article and interview that has appeared on me since I began my career, and then writing a comprehensive bibliography, footnoting the entire text meticulously, as well as bringing her critical insight to bear in her wonderful introduction. I found that essay very moving in that it caused me to think about my own work in a new way, and it took me outside my own personal perspective on my practice to see the things that I've been doing in the last 15 years in a larger literary, cultural, and political context. So thank you, Kathy, for that. For the book production, I'd like to thank Winnie Go for an uncompromisingly sleek and modern design. I'm very grateful to Zakaria Zaino, who's an astonishing photographer, for taking the cover photograph of me in a way that makes me look like myself but better. And thank you to Sharon from Photo Plates for printing and binding the book so beautifully and efficiently. I could not have done all this without my colleagues in Checkpoint Theatre. As you've heard, this is the second of our projects in book publishing and will not be our last. For this particular volume, all the Checkpointers have been working on it in some way or another for almost a year. So thank you Claire Wong, Kobe B, Laramie Lee, Lucas Ho, Christine Yo, Karanina Surya Denata, Kim Tan, Timothy Chow, Sabrina Sung, Tong Hon Yi, and Hazel Ho for making this dream a reality. For making this launch possible, I'd like to thank the team from the National Museum of Singapore who've so generously lent us this space and come in on a Saturday, and who've been so supportive of our past projects. In particular, I'd like to thank Ms. Lee Cho Lin, Ms. Angelita Teo, and the team, Balsin, Nurain, Cherie, Mr. Hua, Fiona, and Naz. Thank you to all who participated in today's showcase. I've been really moved to see what you've done with my plays. It's just lovely sitting there and hearing your words read back at you by such a wonderful group of people. So thank you to Kathy and Sabrina and our readers Ivan Heng, Effendi Ibrahim, Claire Wong, Joko Katas, Un Shuan, and Arun Anurandram. Thank you for so generously lending us time. And for providing the refreshments you'll be enjoying outside very shortly, I'd like to thank Violet Un's Kitchen, Violet, Ming, and Sulin. Violet's a dear friend and a lover of the arts, and I'm delighted to point out that Violet Un's Kitchen now has a full catering license, so you can enjoy her legendary menu anywhere on our beloved island. So thank you to the Checkpoint team on duty today, led by Christine Yo in front of house, including our steadfast volunteers Benita Teo, Lim Chen Tin, Su Hong Ling, and Su Hong Kai, and CJ Na. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you for being here on what is a very, very special day for me. I'm really happy to see so many of my dear friends, fellow artists, and family members who've traveled here from Malaysia, the UK, the US, to be here with me today. It means a great deal to me that you're here with me. Besides the launch of this book, which is 15 years of work, it's the 20th anniversary of my graduation from university, and therefore the beginnings of my meandering, oblique, and haphazard career path. And it also happens to be my 40th birthday today. Therefore my official entrance into middle age and all the introspection that goes with it. So you will understand, and I hope forgive me when I say that in the lead up to today, I've spent quite a bit of time thinking about my life. There have certainly been challenges and many dark moments, but overall I'm grateful for the incredible joy and fulfillment I found in what I do. And that is thanks to other people. And that's what I'd like to say to all of you. Friends, colleagues, fellow artists, mentors, cousins, uncles, aunts, mum, dad, my grandmother, former students of mine, comrades in arms, partners in crime, my darling Claire, thank you all for being in my life. The late Christian Jit, a very dear friend, a collaborator and a mentor of mine, he turned to me one day in late 2000 and he said, you know, the thing about you is that you seem very self-sufficient. And Christian had a way of saying obviously untrue things as a provocation in order to make me realize that perhaps without quite knowing it, I'd been pretending to be self-sufficient, or worse, that I had been straining to be self-sufficient, and maybe I should call that whole thing off and admit my vulnerability. So if I haven't quite managed to do so before, let me do so now. My entire professional life and emotional life depends on the companionship, the support, the collaboration, the generosity, and the kindness of others. Writers are loners, but playwrights are loners who can't stand to be alone. So if you're here today, you're probably one of those people who have alleviated my aloneness and perhaps even my loneliness, and you have made the 15 years of work that have gone into this book very meaningful. As playwrights, we construct our lives so that we can alternate between solitude and company. Projects emerge from discussions with other people, initial drafts are tested against collaborators. I myself share plays that aren't quite finished, and then the ending or the middle bit or a critical scene gets written after rehearsals have started. And I've come to realize it's that collegial and convivial atmosphere that I really crave, being in contact with incredibly talented people and having them walk a little way with me on my journey through life. And by the time my plays leave me, by the time they're given to others, they have somehow become not mine. When I look back on my plays now, they're both inextricably linked to who I was at the time I wrote them, yet they somehow stand outside and apart from me, as though I were just a vessel or a conduit. And I acknowledge that a play I write is not a thing that exists in and of itself. It's just a blueprint for a performance. It sits in a halfway state, a liminal state, and without the countless hours of work by other people, and without people to give up 2 hours or so to watch it, my initial contribution would be meaningless. So it all comes back to all of you. You are why I do it. You are the reason I've been able to do it. And indeed, you are the only reason I can understand what it is that I've done. This is a very proud and happy day for me, and I have all of you to thank. Thank you.